So, sitting covertly at dinner in the overt position of the 69 Omega plan, where everything is collapsed on itself because we're in the R plus T, which means rob the time, being Romer and Teofrio, away from the Clover lover family in happily ever after elsewhere, because this certainly isn't that avenue. The Linda, yeah, she made a very wise statement tonight. Teofrio says something about tulips being a way of paying for things back in the day, and I go, really? That's interesting. After I mentioned cobblestone to him and a carriage ride with elsewhere equipment. At least that's where I was going with that. Linda says that tulips come from Holland. I said I had no idea. Thank you, Linda. And then Lou pipes up, because he has to be the big, smart man at this stupid table, and he says, you know, Anthony, and Nucci looked at him like, right, and so he's like, Nucci, listen, he's like, this is the way the system works. Are you ready? I am going to ask you to give me your shirt off your back, and I'm going to write you a piece of paper because I don't have money. And I'm going to hand you the piece of paper, and then I'm going to own the shirt. And I said, Louis Cattaruzza, I said, what are you doing? I said, stop. I said, Mr. Emperor with your new clothes. I said, you're naked. Do not, this is weird. I said, you're telling the child at the table you want his shirt off his back, which is going to leave him exposed and naked, and then you're only offering him a piece of paper. How is he supposed to keep himself warm, stupid? I said, I don't want you teaching him such things. I said, then I said, Nucci, I said, listen to me. If any bad men come to you and want a shirt off your back and they're willing to offer you paper, you say, no, stupid, disgusting, bad man. Go away. You are weird. I said, it makes no sense, but this is the legacy that Louis and Elizabeth and all of the idiots in the markets on Wall Street decided before you were born and before I was born in how are we going to fund terrorism forever and take all of God's pleasure away from her, right? They decided to do the stupid emperor plan of I'll give you nothing and take everything. Right, yeah, that's what you left our generation, is you took everything, robbed our time, our happiness, you gave us nothing, and now we have a foreign invasion everywhere, and nobody knows how they got across the water so quickly. And how did that happen? I just woke up and they were here, and who approved this landscape change? Right, yeah, I know, that's holes in time and space you can't remember in sector and vector, and who's owning what server and who's zapping who in extraterrestrial equipment that I did not approve as all area specialist and god of systems. Right, that is going to take a real toll on the skin in short distance radio waves, especially when they get a little longer in distance. And being that SETI has some kind of setting with radio telescopy up that just goes back down because it goes up through a hole in space, and they go, whoop, I want to hit them today. I know it's pointed up, but I'm going to reroute it. Oh, you are the stupidest fucking humans I have ever met. Oh my god, in stupid science at all levels. Okay, so let's see, what other bones of contention? All right, my mother also, in her infinite amounts of pearls of wisdom at the moment, in this sector and vector, covert-overt reporting, or porting at the moment. I'm porting because they're not in on anything. They don't know how broken the system or themselves are since I was born, even though I kept telling them. They didn't listen. Big surprise. So let's see. She says pastilles. Oh my god, an Italian candy. That is so amazing. Yeah, Ziada like Ada di Filippo. She loves these black, disgusting, tar-like candies that are like, oh my god, how do you eat that stuff? Oh. Right, she loves them. They come from Italy. They're a delicacy, I imagine, or a specialty, whatever. But my grandfather, Nonno Antonine, he used to like pastilles, right, pastilles, Pastiles, right, that is a Fourth Reich. Right, it is in the past. Yeah, that is where those candies went. I have not seen them in a long time. No idea where they went off to. Right, but I don't like black licorice, that's for sure. Right, we were talking about Mariah loved butterscotch. That was another thing. I was like, not so much, but she, whatever, that and watermelon, like lozenge things. I mean, they were okay, but so much sugar. Those were all pastilles. Right, so I have Pastilie accounts where I was elsewhere watching over and writing the documents for the two sides of the very real problem in the equation with the sector vector and putting me to sleep 8 hours a night or more, then a couple of naps during the day, and the calendar on an all-area shift. It becomes very difficult for stability of timing the science problems and people. Right, so especially when they break the calendar and cycle system. They're not supposed to touch, no less. That's how they're sneaking and changing viewpoints and life programming everywhere since before I was born. But again, nobody wants to protect me and listen that if him and I are in Clover territory happily ever after, there's a stability factor. And then we're back into watching over as back-to-back 96. All of the all-area criminals from overtaking and hurting one another and changing, and it makes, if there's a mistake for whatever reason within your own sector and vector, it makes changing it very easy when it's just him and I, back to back. I don't know why you had to put me 69 with some other family of I don't want this, this is undercover covert, I don't like it. So here we are at yard line 41 in the ears, and nobody listens or does anything to change the viewpoint vantage in my sector vector of I don't know how to find you, Mr. Tulips from Holland. Right. Yeah, that is, I think that is everything, right? Then he said something about the Mark Ruffalo. I'm like, Buffalo? And he goes, no, Ruffalo. I don't know. There's some show they're watching about the book. And oh, Lunacy. That was it. That was it. Right. We do the Lunacy when we're on the night schedule. Yeah, that's when they all go to sleep for 8 hours, 12 hours, 10 hours, whatever. And then, right, that puts instability in universal systems at all levels. Right. I got Alex on the eating and sleeping schedule. That's a problem for our kind of extraterrestrial and science programs we gotta get back a hold of. But I don't know what else to do because I'm living in the version where you like to fatten people up like pigs and cows for other schemes else and schematics elsewhere. That's dangerous for everyone. Right, hence the bloat everywhere in my face. Let's see, so Lunacy, right, they call this the time that I'm in now. That was dinner, DINNER, where you eat the meal at night, but it's still sunlight, which I know gets confusing in all areas of specialist meanings, because they call this the day still, even though it's more towards nighttime after the PM. I don't know, they have the weirdest systems, ways of explaining things in the sector and vector. I don't know why. Alright, let's see what else. I think that is everything in... Oh, Nucci mentioned something. What did he mention? Oh, beans. I was talking to him about I love... Right. I said I love... Oh, right, that's an overt. Right. Oops. Okay, well, I said I love mushrooms and onions on my pizza. Right, and he kept saying beans. Right, that is my override for shut the hell up, but I missed it. So, I get you now. A little after the fact, I'm a little behind the 8 ball, but right, so, when I say something inappropriate, the little Nucci, or Antenucchi, says beans, P-E-A-N-S. That was a programming right to protect him from my stupidity in big mouth, in hoof, in mouth disease at the moment. Trying to overtly and covertly fix my very real organ issue in both areas and the connection for system elsewhere in ether. Right. That is a... right. 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 Okay, I'm good.